it be correct to say partnering with the city helps to make it profitable?
So this is an excerpt of an interview with Sam of Black Real Estate Dialogue. They highlight the stories of Black investors and Vanessa Cole, who's a home builder in the Houston area. And she talks about the ability to use the city's assets in order to make affordable housing affordable, not only for the home buyer, which she talks about before this clip, but also for the builder, which is very important because builders will not build these homes if they're not allowed to make profit. They're not a nonprofit, as she will later say in the interview. But check out this 3-minute clip and I'll provide my insights afterwards.
Yeah, so I have not found a way that you can do affordable housing without I take that back, because Booker out of Georgia has found a way to do an affordable product without subsidy.
So she's a home builder, somebody that's in the mix, and she knows of one person that's been able to do this. So just of note, that seems to be an outlier, but no more interruptions for me.
But currently, the product that we have, a 1,600 square feet, 3-bed, 2-bath, building that product with the land costs and construction costs where it is, we have not been able to do it without the help from the city. The numbers just don't work for us. So yes, it's the subsidy is where our profit comes in. And that's what has incentivized us developers to come in and participate in the program.
Sorry, last interruption, but the key word there was that's what incentivizes us developers to come in. Once again, home ownership or the ability to live somewhere is something every single person should have, but somebody still needs to build these properties.
Without it, we would be a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work for us.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I encourage people, wherever they live, to look into similar programs like that in the cities. And I think it helps because obviously you're in business to make money. You're able to make money, but then you're also able to put people in houses who otherwise, like you said, would have been priced out, pushed out, and all those things. So I think everyone wins in that scenario.
Correct. I've had buyers cry at the closing table because they're looking for a home for like 2 years.
Wow.
And they cannot find a home because the product doesn't exist. The only product that's available at that price point in the market is a home that's like torn down, dilapidated. And, it's just, so I love what I do. I do believe that my work in this space is purposeful. And there's just doors that open up for me and partners that come into alignment with what I'm doing. And I'm grateful for that.
Absolutely. So what would you say is the average price of the homes you build versus the average cost of something similar in Houston? Like that's a market rate.
Yes. So our average sales price is around like $230, $250. That same 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,600 square feet will go for $330, sometimes $375. So yes, and our product is comparable to a market rate product.
Right.
And I was very intentional about making sure that our product had nice design finishes. Like I had scratched, nothing wrong with granite countertops, but I wanted more of like the quartz. I wanted like the clean, sleek. Instead of going with that 12 by 12 tile, I went with like a large format tile.
Yeah.
There's just different things, accent walls, the paint colors. So I would tell my partner, like, hey, I'm willing to forego $5,000 of my profit just to put in some better finishes. Because what I was seeing in the market, it was like Formica count. I mean, it was just like, and then you wonder why those houses end up being run down later on because nobody will take pride in that.
Yeah.
So, and then we educate our home buyers on how to take care of your home and we just try to be involved as much as possible.
Definitely, definitely. So, as we talked about before, I think that's probably maybe, I don't think it's 1% minorities in development, let alone, probably a fraction of that, that are Black women. And so what challenges have you faced coming into this space, and what advice can you give to Black women who are trying to do what you're doing?
So I will leave that cliffhanger for you. Once again, check out the whole video. It will be in the description. But let's get into it. All right. So first and foremost, let's go pocket watching. Because a lot of folks wonder, like, how much money do builders actually make? So I've seen a couple stats out there. I've seen builders make between, and of course, this varies by region, 10% to 20% profit. I've seen 20% to 25%. And a realtor who I really respect that's been in the industry for a minute says that builders make between, at least in the Dallas market, between 27 and 30% per home. So let's start from there and let's settle somewhere in the middle and say they make 20% margin. Let's use the scenario that Vanessa laid out, or let's make it a little bit easier to do the math. Let's say the average home in the area can go for $300,000. She said 330 in her scenario, and maybe 375 with maybe a bidding war. That means that the builder needs to, it's all in on that property for most likely about $240,000. So like 60% profit on that bill. There is margin, you see 20% margin, but there's not a lot of wiggle room to be going under the market price, because if they're breaking even, like let's say, not even breaking even, but just making a little bit more than what the home is worth, like $10,000, $20,000, honestly, it gets to a point where it's not worth the builder's time. And she pointed out, it's like, hey, we're not a nonprofit. I'm sure she loves her a job and loves the ability to bring affordable homes to the community, but she's not doing it for free. I know a builder here in the Dallas area who does the same thing, and he gets subsidies from Dallas. He loves the community. He loves providing housing, but once again, he's a smart guy, a great businessman, but he's not doing it for free. So the big takeaway from this I wanted you all to see is that affordable housing has to be affordable for both sides of the equation. Just like any product in any market, if it doesn't make any sense for the entrepreneur to make the product at a certain point, they're not going to put it on the market. Like, let's take cars, for example. I'm sure that Tesla could sell the Teslas for $20,000, $15,000, but it makes no sense from a profitability standpoint for them to do that. And so who's eligible for these cheap homes? It has to be first-time home buyers first and foremost, no investors, and typically it's somebody that makes less than 80% of the area median income in the area. Because believe it or not, like, these affordable houses actually bring up the value in a lot of neighborhoods, because she's building most likely these affordable houses in neighborhoods that have been abandoned, dilapidated, run down. So there's maybe like empty lots and stuff in the area, which means that even if there's a $330,000 home in that area, building that $230,000 home, maybe, I don't know, 7, 8 houses down, brings up the value, because now there's not an empty lot. Now there's a taxpayer. Now there's more resources for the community. So if the city of Houston or the city of Dallas gives somebody $50,000 in order to build a home and make it affordable, they get that money back in taxpayer money eventually. Because people get taxed very, very viciously out here in Texas. We have the 7th highest taxes in the whole United States, despite being the land of the free and low government. So just some food for thought there. But from the other side of the coin, you can't sort of build too many affordable houses, because she mentioned she builds like, I think, 12 homes in a year time frame. Your huge builders may build 12 homes in like 2 or 3 weeks. So let's say you have a DR Horton, somebody that sells hundreds of houses a month. So 12 homes a year times 50,000, that's 600,000. Let's say 100 homes times 50 is 500,000, I think. I think that's the math there. It's just not affordable from the city's perspective to build entire communities of affordable houses, because that money has to come from somewhere. And also from a big perspective, let's go to the same scenario where there's 10 homes on the block. You got the 330 home. You're probably happy to have that 230 home, even if it's built cheaper, because it brings up the whole value and kind of the ambiance of the neighborhood. And then it encourages other developments. It encourages people to bring commerce and businesses to the area as well. But you're not going to want all 9 other homes in your 10 home block to be 230, because looking at comparable sales, that will actually probably bring down your property value. So there's kind of a balance between the affordable housing and the homes that are being sold already on the free market. But it's a great interview. Definitely check out the full clip, link in the bio, and let me know what you think. Thanks.